What's up, guys? In today's video I'll be prepping some rough openings for window install. Includes lining it with OSB, then putting on clapperboard, and finishing up with Prosoco R guards, fast flash, both roller grade and tube, as well as some joint and seam filler. So follow along. We're now at the rough opening of the window. We're going to prep that, and I'll go up here with you. I'll show you. What the first thing I've done was I ripped a piece of OSB to the width and length of the opening here. Put some Lexcel on top there. Two lines, one across, just like I do with the SIP stuff. And now we'll go ahead and smoosh that up here to bridge, the outside to across the 2x material and to the inside. We'll make it a little easier to then later on cover that. So as you can see, it's ready to go. I made it slightly wider, maybe an eighth wider than the opening, so it will stick here a little more easily since I'm working by myself. So here we go. We'll hammer it up into place. There we go. Now we'll just nail it off. All right, now we'll do the bottom, then we'll do the sides to wrap it up. And here goes the bottom. All right, I like to finish it up by just hammering it now that we have the glue down there, or the sealant, and the nails provide a little holding force so you won't bounce back up again. All right, now we'll measure the sides and install the sides. Next is the bevel board. As you can see, this is zip sheeting OSB. It's just some scraps that I had laying around. Ideally, it would have been just a regular OSB, as I'm using the Prosoco R guard as my rain screen. Sides. All right, have good contact. Now we'll nail it off to the left side. Good contact all around. Let's nail it off. Sometimes we get those shiners. Not quite sure what causes it. Shouldn't be any knots right there. Knock them up and down. So it pops. Next thing we got is a piece of beveled siding, or I think it's called clapboard as well. If you look, if I have the rough end up, I have a 90 here, so that's what I'm going to do, which means I'm going to put the sealant on the back here. There we go. We'll put some right in the corner. There we go. Okay, we have the clapperboard in. Put an aisle off the back. And sort of in the middle. Don't want it to split. It's very thin towards the end. I'm going to leave that one alone. All right. Now we need a little backstop right here. So the height of that one depends on the shape of your window. So we'll have a look at the window and see what would look good. I have a 2x4 from the property that we milled here, and I have shaved it down a bit. Now what I'm going to do is rip it down the middle. I'll have 19 mil on each side, and that will be a little taller than what I have there for the plate back there. So it will be a backstop. Here we go. We're adding some Sashko to the back here. Lexo. No chance for air to get through here. As well as in the corners. Okay. Let's throw that up there. In the corner. This one will jam down on top of it. There we go. Our backstop. We'll nail it off and start with the Prosoco fluid apply. Here we have all the different Prosoco products that I'll be using for weatherproofing the building. They have a family called the Argard family. We'll start down here. Joint and seam filler. That one is very good for larger cracks. It's similar to this other one that we'll talk about later, but it has some fibers in it so that it can span larger gaps. I think it's up to 3/8 without a backer rod, and then you can put backer rod in. I think it's up to 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. Anyway, check that out. Next product is the Argard Fast Flash. This one is specifically gun grade. It comes in 2 different varieties. So you have the gun grade, which goes into a sausage tube gun. You also have this one up here, which is the roller grade. It's a little bit thinner in viscosity so that you can roll it. This one you would definitely want to use in corners, anywhere you can't really get to with a roller, and then you could always finish it up with a roller grade. Other products that I have is the Cat 5. Cat 5 is the weather resistant barrier that you put on the outside of the building. So instead of a house wrap, you can go ahead and just basically paint on a membrane. So they're all compatible and they all become one monolithic product once you are done. So we're gonna go ahead and start with using joint and seam filler, fill in the big cracks. We're gonna try Fast Flash gun grade for the one window. Then we'll do gun grade in certain areas, but do the roller grade Fast Flash for the rest. And once all the rough openings are done, we'll use Cat 5 to finish the product off on all the walls. Comes in 2 varieties, the Cat 5 and the Cat 5 rain screen. Similar product, or maybe identical product, but this one is light brown, whereas the rain screen is black in case you have an open facade. Here we go with the joint and seam filler from Prosoco. Put that in there. Up on top as well. There's actually no need to use the joint and seam filler here as the gaps are so small. Anything less than 3/8 inch, you could just use the Fast Flash. But I had joint and seam filler in the gun, so decided to use it. It just has a little bit more fiber. I have a joint right here as well. It's not very big, but might as well put it in. I like to pull the gun because I can force it into the area that I want it to sit so it doesn't just flop around on me. All right, now let's tool it into position. For the corners, I'm going to use one of these little spatulas. It's made out of silicone. This does not stick to silicone, so it makes a pretty connection. We'll do that over here as well. And here. All right, now for the flat surfaces, what you heard me dropping was this Bondo knife. It's kind of flexible and it's really nice for flat objects. All right. Now, if there's moisture actually speeds up the curing, so I could wet it a little bit with just a little bit of water, just spritz it on. It will speed up this process, because the next after this is going to be fast flash all around here. Here we are on the outside. I'm also going to add the joint and seam filler to any other gaps here. Now, of course, on top of this is going to be the fast flash. So this is just step one in the prep. All right, I'm going to grab a ladder and do the rest. We'll do the head flashing here. Alright, that should do it for the seam filler on this side. Joint and seam filler. Alright, like I said earlier, we'll now wait for this to dry and then we'll move on to fast flash. You can see this is now dried, our joint and seam filler. So what we're going to do next now is the fast flash. And the fast flash is red instead of pink. And we're going to start up high up here, just so that we have less chance of getting it on us. You want to go at least 1 inch beyond where the window is going to stop, just so that you have something to bond to when you add your air dam later to seal from the back. On the front, you want to go at least 4 inches out. Now I am doing Cat 5 over the entire thing, so it's not quite as important for me because I just need the two to touch at some point. So I'm just going to go a little bit outside. So we've done the top, one of the sides, the other, or the sill. Now we're going to go ahead and do one side here. Let's put a new sausage in. A little bit here too, because I didn't have quite enough in the previous tube to wrap it up. There we go. Put that off to the side. All right. I like a little bit stiffer Bondo knife. So here we go. And spread it out. If it's not enough, we can always go back and add more. So again, we want to get at least 1 inch past where the window sits on the back. So mine sits right around here as the end. So I want to make sure I get plenty of coverage back there. I'm just going to add a little bit more right here. Lock up the gun. I found that if you don't cut a big enough hole in the tube right here, then it can back up the tube and start spilling on the inside of that tube instead of dispensing it. So make sure you have at least the 3/8 opening there, and you're good to go. All right, this is looking real nice, monolithic. Once this all dries up, it's going to become just one piece. After I'm done striking it out this way, I like to just pull across towards the front of the opening, just so that if any water gets in here, it doesn't have any kind of edges to be stopped on. So here we go. Okay, the top is done, the sides are done. This window is prepped and ready for window install. I'm going to do just the outside of the rough openings here. Let's see. There we go, all done for this window. Now we just gotta let it dry and then we'll set the window. Let's cover cleanup real quick. Take as much as you can off with just paper. If you haven't waited all that long, you can use just that. If you waited too long, acetone, take the rest right off. So I just finished both rough openings for the windows. It is 60 degrees out and 61% relative humidity. So I'm going to go ahead and see how long it takes before the windowsills are no longer tacky. So I don't know exactly when it happened, but it's 3 hours later now, and it is tacky, but nothing sticks to my hand, whereas earlier it would have destroyed everything I touch. So we're good here. I'm going to go ahead and do the main entrance door next. All right, that wraps that up. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. Window opening is now prepped and we are ready for the window install. That'll be the next video, so if you want to watch that, the installation of an Innotech Passive House certified window, then please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!